What is going on there, guys? Kempy here, and welcome to the very first ever tactic tester that I'm going to be running on the channel. Today is a tactic made by Josh Daly himself. It's a 4-1-2-1-2 possession-based domination tactic. Before we get into testing the tactic, it's time to meet the teams and the managers who will be taking us to world domination. First off is the fabulous Paris Saint-Germain, named after Paris Saint-Germain and PSG legend Papin. I think you can agree, he looks fantastic. We're going to be using PSG to test the tactic because if it doesn't work with PSG, it's not going to work with anyone. We should win the league. We should definitely challenge for the Champions League and go on for utter domination. For Manchester United, it's going to be myself because I'm a United fan. I'd like to think... For Manchester United, it's going to be myself as the manager. As a United fan, I'd like to think I could bring the club some glory. They're a team in the Europa League, obviously in the first season, and hopefully pushing for a top 4 place. This is going to be a great test for the tactic because, in my experience on a lot of FM save, United actually don't play that well in the game. So hopefully, with a brand new tactic, this should help us push into the Champions League and possibly even challenge for the title. The man to hopefully lead Ajax to absolute domination and glory in Holland is going to be club legend and my goat, Gokhan van Proest, a made-up man who looks absolutely fantastic with that beautiful ginger hair. Is going to take over as Ajax manager. I think he's going to do, well, I assume he's going to do very well. He should be winning the league. And can he do anything like Mr. Erik ten Hag did for Ajax and challenge for a Champions League as well? Well, these tactics are going to certainly see if he can do that. We're also going to test ourselves over in Scotland, and this time with Hearts. And here we've got Kevin Hearts, a nice little play on words, who's going to leave Hearts to hopefully Scottish glory. Hearts aside that if we do lead them to glory, will certainly be overachieving. So a very good team to test the tactic out with. There's only one team left. We're going to be doing this, and that's Plymouth. And hopefully to take Plymouth to League One glory and lower league domination is nothing to do with the man you might think. It's Piehead, the Plymouth superfan. Plymouth, obviously a side that should be doing very well in League One in this simulation. But if it's going to work in League One as well, that is a massive, massive bonus for this tactic. That's enough messing around and meeting the managers. It's time to see the tactic, and this is the tactic. It is made, like I said, from Josh Daly. His link will be down below in the comments or the description. If you are interested in downloading this tactic for yourself, I've got it off Sort It Out SI, but you can copy it from pausing this video or going over to Josh Daly's video and pausing it from his as well. So the team itself is set up in a 4-1-2-1-2. It's a positive style of play. Actually, how it works, it plays up from the back, focuses through the middle, then you have overlaps from the left and the right, working the ball into the box, short passing directness, a very high tempo, standard attacking width. In transition, looking to counter press and counter, distribute quickly, play out from the back to centre backs or full backs, take short kicks, high press much more often. Everything else is on standard. You can see the different player roles we've got as well, and we'll go through them individually. How good does this PSG side? I've literally just clicked quick pick. I think there's a few players out injured or out on, Neymar's not on the team, and quick pick doesn't think he will get into that cam spot, but I'm sure he will as we sim through. So we're going to go through. It is Donnarumma in goal. It is goalkeeper on defend, no further instructions. Full back on attack for Hakimi. It is cross aim centre, run wide with the ball, shoot less often, get further forward and stay wider. Mendes on the left side has got cross aim centre, run wide with the ball, shoot less often, get further forward and stay wider. 2 ball playing defenders in defend. The one on the right, Marquinhos, has got no changes. There is no additional bits to it, so it's just as it is. Kimpembe, the exact same. So nice and easy for your centre backs. Defensive midfielder, is Verratti as a centre defensive midfielder on defend. Defensive mid, no changes. Fabian is playing the left centre mid role as a box-to-box midfielder. Run wide with the ball and shoot less often, and you're going to need to go onto him. And then Carlos Soler is playing on the right with just dribble more on as a Mezzala on support. Pablo Sarabia had some well found inside this team over Neymar as a centre attack midfielder, as an advanced playmaker on support with dribble more, roam from position and move into channels. And I'll tell you now, if that comes into Neymar, he is going to suit that down to a T. The deep line for forward on support is Lionel Messi in this situation. It's shoot more often and roam from position. And the man who's going to score 1 million goals in this is Kylian Mbappe. Advance forward on attack with dribble more and shoot more often. I'm going to go forward, put this tactic onto each 5 teams, see them the next year, and hopefully we've got a tactic that's going to dominate world football and make headlines everywhere. Just a very quick interruption from myself. It's just a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video, and also get them bell notifications on. It helps me out massively, and it helps you massively as well, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. Carry on enjoying the video. Well, the tactic testing is done. It is a brand new day, so bear with me while I get back to grips with the tactic itself. But we are here, the end of the season. The tactic has been tested by 5 different teams. We start today with Paris Saint-Germain, who absolutely stormed Ligue 1. It's fair to say 109 points. If we look at the whole league as a whole, Mbappe did quite well in this system. 109 points, 107 goals, 1 loss to Marseille, 1 draw to Marseille, who ended up coming 6th, so didn't even do that well. Second place, Strasbourg. Average rating rise, Mbappe with an 8.20. I have never seen an average rating so high. Messi 7.53, Neymar 7.48. They enjoyed this system quite a lot, didn't they? If we look at our screen here and look at the selection info, look at goals. Mbappe got 63 goals, Messi got 25, Neymar got 20 from only 38 starts. Yeah. The system worked very well for PSG. If we have a look at in depth as well at the league itself, go to the stats, look at the team overview. Obviously, best form, 13 games without losing, only 1 game without conceding. But this is the one that the tactic is built around. It's built around keeping the ball and trying to score goals from it. 67% possession for PSG. Fair to say they enjoyed this tactic quite a lot. I don't think today I'm going to have a look through any games. I'm going to have to do that another day. I do want to do more of these tactic tests. I want to get better and better than that. But yeah, it's my first ever one, so let me know how it goes. But there will be no gameplay today. It's purely going to be looking based on the stats and looking at how the team's done. I mean, PSG have done very well there. They've got a 3.18 goals a game, pass completion rate of 90%, 67% possession, 2.7 expected goals, conceded 0.37 goals a game, which is not too good, to be honest. A goal every 3 games. It's not awful. It's not great. But it's fair to say PSG enjoyed the 4-1-2-1-2, the Josh Daly dream possession tactic. Let's have a little look at how much United got on with it. That's not a great start. We're no longer in a job, so it can't have gone that well. Let's have a quick look. Let's have a look at Liverpool, go to the Premier League. United come 10th. So it's clearly not a plug-in and play formation. Obviously, we were playing a 4-1-2-1-2 diamond narrow. I think you can agree with me that in real life, it wouldn't work for United. We've signed, obviously, Anthony this season, Sancho last season. When we looked at the team staff, it was Martial and Rashford up front with Bruno in behind, which sounds all well and good. But when it comes to that sort of system and that formation, it certainly didn't suit the team. So the formation itself obviously isn't a plug and play. You have got to make signings to fit the team. And I think United were one of the worst teams we could have really picked for this specific formation. Ronaldo enjoyed his time, 30 goals in 44 games. Bruno Fernandes, 18 goals. Rashford, 14 goals. Martial, 11 goals. They also didn't really have a prolific striker like PSG did with Mbappe. I mean, Ronaldo's done well getting 30 goals, but Rashford with 14, Martial with 11. It's quite clear to see it didn't suit Manchester United half as much as it suited PSG. But look at the stats, they're on 55% average possession, which for a team that's come 10th isn't awful. I can't really go into the data hub and see too much of United, which is frustrating. I can tell you now that the only team that we've been sacked with, which is good, so we could do more in-depth stuff with everything else. But it's just a bit of a comparison of how good we did with PSG. They scored 107 goals. Haaland and Man City scored 80 overall. So that's 27 more goals from PSG than Man City got in the Premier League. And they are normally very, very dominant as well. Let's move on to Ajax and see how Ajax go in the formation. I'd expect them to win the league, win the cup, and do fairly decent in the Champions League. And we actually need to see, while I say the Champions League, how PSG did. I didn't check the Champions League or the the French Cup They lost 4-1 to Porto in the quarterfinals. Porto turned up in the second leg. PSG were obviously 2-0 up there and then managed to lose there, which isn't good for them. It's called the Coupe de France. They lost in the semi-final to Nice. So PSG only winning the league, but being very, very dominant in the league. So I think it's fair to say that the system worked, but maybe there was games like against Marseille. If we look at this one and how... Oh, I can't look at it because I'm not a manager. 2 seconds. If I go back to Paris Saint-Germain, go back to here, go to PSG, schedule. Where's the schedule? Schedule. And then go down to where we lost to Marseille. Marseille are playing a 4-2-3-1, so probably just overran them out wide. In the midfield, obviously, probably more PSG. As you can see, they played quite well in the midfield. But out wide, they only had Bernat and Hakimi, who both had quite poor games, to be honest. So they're obviously just run ragged by Marseille out wide. I imagine it was a very similar thing with Nice as well in this 2-1 result here. If we have a look, were they playing a similar formation? 4-2-3-1, yeah. 4-3-3 even. So they got run out wide again. Pepe having a great game. Bernat having not a bad game. And Hakimi having quite a good game. But Nice running out the dominant side in that one. So Paris Saint-Germain, he's not done too bad. William Kemp at Manchester United has not done great. Ajax have won the league in Holland. 73 points, only 3 points clear. Again, I wouldn't say the fifth system is definitely built for Ajax. If we have a look at the tactics themselves, Bergwijn's a winger. Tadic is a deep lying forward, really. Kudus is more of a centre mid. You've got players like Berghaus missing out on the team. Brian Brobbery's missing out on the team. Ocampos is a fantastic winger. So again, maybe a team that's more built for a wing play system. So like I say, it's definitely not in a plug and play system. You have to maybe build for the team. So maybe it'll be an interesting rebuild with this formation. Maybe that's something we're going to do in the future. But how do they actually get on in the Eredivisie? If we look in depth at the stats, if we go to stats and team overview, possession-wise, 64% possession, held a lot of the ball. And then goals, we scored 67 in, 34 games. So about 2 goals a game. So again, not mental and less than Feyenoord. So certainly not as good as PSG done in the formation. Which is interesting because I'd have expected Ajax to dominate just as much as PSG did. A bit annoying we can't get in the data hub again. But yeah, certainly not the best from Ajax. In terms of their league performance, if we have a look in the schedule again, we actually just have a look at competitions. They knocked out in the group stage of the Champions League and knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Cup as well. So not a fantastic position by Ajax either. So definitely maybe this system has not suited a couple of teams. PSG has suited quite well. United not at all. And Ajax, I'd say not really either. They've won the league, which is good for them. But not, the best of times for them. Hearts in the Scottish League come 4th. I believe they're predicted to come 4th. Predicted to come 3rd, so just underneath expectations. Hibernian getting in that 3rd place spot. So they've done a good job. If we look at the data hub, we can see, and they scored 1.45 goals a game. Pass completion rate of 86%. Conceded 1.16 per game. So they are conceding quite a lot of goals. Not the greatest of sides, Hearts, but definitely a decent enough team to do fairly well. They've probably qualified for Europe. They've qualified for Europe. Top goal scorer was Stephen Humphreys on loan from Wigan, so he enjoyed his time in this formation. If we look at the team detailed overview, 61% possession, so holding over 60% of the ball is rather impressive. 55 goals in 38 games for Kevin Hart at Hearts, so he's had a decent time. And last off, let's have a look at how Piehead got on at Plymouth. He comes second in League One, 1 point behind Ipswich. Now, I'm pretty sure Plymouth predicted, 9th position. So they have massively overachieved. So it's obviously suited the Plymouth style of play down to a T. And they have come second and are getting promoted up into the Championship. And if we have a look at the league itself, have a look how their possession stats went, etc. Interesting that we worked with them, 61% possession, which is a high average in League One. When you start falling down the leagues, you get a much more closer battle, but that is a lot of possession to hold. 81 goals in 46 matches, so just under 2 goals a game. Again, fairly decent. So they've had quite a good time with it as well. Expected goals-wise, 1.81, so about matching their goals, and goals conceded about 1 a game. Like I said, as you come down the leagues, it's interesting to do these tests, because it's so much harder to be consistent when you're down in League 1, League 2. The players just aren't good enough. So if a system and a tactic can carry them through it, That's very interesting and very good for the tactic to see. What are the takeaways then? So the takeaways from this tactic is it's definitely not a plug-in and play tactic. You need to sign players to work in this system. Teams that have too many wingers, i.e. Manchester United or Ajax, it does not suit them in the slightest. So if you're looking at starting a save with one of them teams, I would not use this narrow tactic. But for a team like PSG, who very much can utilise their strength in the midfield and their strength in the front three of Mbappe, Neymar and Messi, if you've got your own version of that, maybe down in non-league or down in sort of the championship, I would definitely recommend using this tactic. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm looking to do more and more of these in the future, so if you have liked it, make sure to support and drop a like down below. Would you like to see me do a rebuild with this formation and we actually build a team up into using this formation perfectly? You guys can pick the team. I'll do a vote for it on both Twitter and YouTube. Let me know if that is something you guys would like to see. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you next time.